Great to see you, man. Awesome hitting that break last night, by the way.
Oh, really? I haven't seen it yet, Brian. The video got lost in all the food pics and grandkid posts. There's just too much stuff on Facebook. I don't want to buy protein shakes for my cousin's kid or watch a cat playing piano. Facebook wasn't made for collecting, that's for sure.
Well, Chris, now there's a better way to break.
Well, spit it out. What does that mean?
There's a new platform designed specifically for breaking, created by the pros at Real Sports Cards. It's called Uncommon. When you use Uncommon, you won't see any of the Facebook clutter. You can tune in to a current break in progress, see what's dropping next, browse your favorite card categories, and easily find what you're looking for.
That looks easy as pie. How do I join a break?
You simply click, and your spot is on hold. No more constantly refreshing and commenting to claim teams. Then it safely and securely charges your account. A notification will tell you when the break is about to start, and a live chat lets you cheer each other on.
Well, this is a walk in the park compared to Facebook.
Yep, sure is.
Can I start now?
Absolutely. Visit uncommonapp.com today for a better way to break.
Where has this been all these years? I think I might delete my Facebook now.
What's happening, everyone?
Good Friday morning.
We're live with another little Q&A session.
That's right.
We've been doing these a lot more lately. I've been
I
liking
think
it.
it's like 3 weeks in a row or something.
Three? Two, maybe?
I don't know.
Maybe three, because last week was the drafted teams test. That was more of a... I think that was one of the main reasons that we hopped back on today, because
Right.
it ended up being a lot more of a featured test than an actual
Then a Q&A. Yeah,
actual
we felt
Q&A.
like at the end it's like, okay, we answered a couple of questions at the end,
Yeah.
but for most of the Q&A we were, digging into the drafted teams format, and so we thought, we were hoping to be able to come back with the next round of drafted teams testing, but we didn't quite get there from a software perspective. So we thought, let's come back, actually knock out a quality Q&A,
Yep.
dig into some hot topics that you guys want to talk about, and have a little bit of fun. So
Who else is here with us? Check in with us this morning. I think we already decided that we're not taking any questions from Crosscheck, right?
I think that's been a permanent ban.
Yeah, no, the permanent ban from the Q&A.
Yeah. Yep.
What's up, Ray? Ray was the big winner with our $50 break credit giveaway. So, Ray, like I said, I got that uploaded for you, so you're all set. And that's uncommon credit, so you can use that with Wisconsin or with Minnesota. I'll be live all day tomorrow, so you might want to wait to just use it with me. But what's up, Mike?
Yeah.
Anthony checking in. What's up, Brad?
Ray, what's it like to get that first $50 spot? Like when you know everybody's competing over that one spot. Like, is this like a high anxiety thing, or is this just like a Jedi mind trick thing, or what?
He must not have AT&T. That must be the thing.
Clearly doesn't have AT&T.
What's up, Jose Cruz hanging out on YouTube, Anthony up on Facebook. So for you guys, the main chat is going to be on Uncommon. Just so you know, that's where the majority of people are going to be and where we're going to be paying the most
Right.
attention
If you're
to.
hanging out on YouTube and Facebook, that's cool. But if you see the chat is a little quiet, that's mainly because the main chat is happening on Uncommon on our app. So
Christian, what's up, my guy? Let's see. We got a couple questions. Mike asked if there's any more S1 player breaks coming up.
I don't see why not.
I'm already planning on one for tomorrow night.
Should we do one tomorrow?
For sure.
Let's do it.
We'll do one tomorrow night for sure.
Series 1 6-case player break for tomorrow.
Yes, sir.
Just because you asked for it.
Well, a bunch of fun stuff tomorrow. I kind of
Holy smokes! By the way, those things are an absolute bear of a sort.
Yeah, I think.
Oh my word! I mean, we've done player breaks before, but we've never done player breaks for flagship.
Yeah, this year was the first ever
Series
time.
Series 1, Series 2, or update. And we might have bitten off a little more than we can chew.
Especially by doing 3 of them in 24 hours on release day.
Word. Let's just say our sorting and shipping team might quit. And then you guys are going to have to come sort your own cards.
Yeah.
So, I mean, we did the math. Each one is about, an 18-hour sort?
Yeah, something like that.
18 hours to do, because what you have to do is you have to sort the whole thing by team first.
So it's a regular sort,
It's
right?
a regular
if you're doing
sort.
a pick your team, just a regular sort.
Yep, we got to sort the 6-caser by team first. It is all, it's all cards, obviously.
Yep.
And then they have to take each team and sort by player. And that's just an epic sort.
Yeah, it almost adds twice the sorting time to go back through and just pull out each, because you're sorting each individual stack of teams,
Yeah.
which is massive, and then doing it by however many players they have.
And then we're packaging 200
Right.
packages
Yeah.
instead of 30 packages, which makes a big difference too.
Yep.
And they're pretty big when it's a 6-case player break, it's a decent amount of cards.
Right. Yeah, especially because most of these guys, if you're grabbing 3 spots or whatever, so then that just extends the amount of cards.
Yeah.
It might
wild.
be triple if Nags is sorting. Honestly,
It's wild.
Jake.
It's a lot. It's a lot. So we are cranking on sorting. A couple of things on that, like we are sorting 5-star a little out of order. So I think we're about a week out. I think we're at about a week
For the big ones.
instead of 3 days.
Right.
I think we're at about a week on the big stuff,
Mhm.
and we're trying to chip away at other things. And like we pulled 5-star ahead
Yep.
of some of the Series 1 just because it's such an easy sort, new release. Let's get it knocked out. It's only 16 cards a case. Get it knocked out, get it shipped. And so I think most of the 5-star from Wednesday and Thursday is going to ship today.
Yep.
That's the goal.
I know. I think Wisconsin's doing the same thing. They haven't done any player breaks.
Yeah.
So I'd say they're a little bit more
They're
ahead
ahead.
of us.
Yeah, Wisconsin's a little ahead of us because they didn't do any. We've done all of the player breaks.
Yep.
So if you get a 5-star break package before you get a Series 1 break that was maybe before 5-star, don't freak out. That
was intentional.
That your Series 1 is lost. It was intentional that we're kind of prioritizing that 5-star to get it out quickly.
Yep.
So, well,
And say a prayer for the sorting team.
yes, correct. So, and we've got a handful of guys locally that are helping, so
Yep.
that's awesome. So we offered out some break credit to some of the local guys to come in and hang out and do some sorting, so that's helping us get caught up. So we expect to be completely caught up by the end of this next week.
Yeah, for sure. For
So,
sure.
no.
Yep, the 6 cases are slowing down too. Like we'll do one tomorrow, but it's not going to be an every night type of thing like we did on release week, so we won't get backed up
Yep.
as much with those.
Right.
But that's not to say we won't end up doing 1 or 2 or 3 more.
Yeah.
TBD.
Yeah, and we have another fairly decent sort coming up March 8th,
I'm excited for that one.
which is Series 2 hockey.
I'm
So-
excited for that one.
Yeah. So, up a little bit in the chat, someone, maybe Brad or somebody asked about, had a PSA question.
PSA
Brad
subs.
Newton. PSA subs through the 2 locations. Is it possible to get a list so that we can see updates? So here's where we're at with PSA, guys. If for those of you who don't know, we are an authorized PSA dealer, and so you can submit to PSA directly from a break if you do that within 24 hours of the break. There's a pinned video right at the top of Uncommon. If you scroll through the little video carousel, there's a PSA video there that directs you to the details for how to do that. But we also take mail-in submissions and local submission drop-offs. So we do have full service PSA. You can find that all that information, like I said, at the top of the app. Where we're at with that, as far as tracking goes, is one, we kind of look at PSA as a startup business for us. Well, we're kind of 2 months in.
Yeah, Bowman Draft was when we started it.
Yeah,
so
Bowman Draft was the start, so we're 2 months in. We've kind of built our own automated processes for like the order receiving and things like that. But we haven't gone the step to build in order tracking, mainly because that's going to be a fairly, big investment to do the order tracking. And we just kind of need to get it off the ground first. So I think it's a possibility that we can get to that. The other thing that, probably isn't making us super prioritize that is PSA's turnaround timing is like lightning fast right now.
Yeah.
So
it's no longer COVID years.
It's not COVID. It's not COVID anymore. So the days of 6, 8, 12, 18 months, like wondering where my stuff is at, are kind of behind us. I mean, even the bulk orders we're seeing in 45 days.
Yeah, we're getting them back quick.
So hopefully, that. As if you guys are sending stuff in, submitting stuff with an expectation of 45 days, then really, hopefully you don't feel like you have to constantly look for updates on where that stuff is, because it's turning around pretty quickly. But we're paying attention to it, and if it really gets to a point where we can do something like that, then we may try to do that. So
yep, 100%.
So PSA does do APIs, so we there's an opportunity from a software perspective to dig in and pull things from APIs, but the reality is that would probably be about $100,000 software lift. So when you think about the cost of building a feature, for example, or doing a software update, we're not talking about $3,000 and we can have PSA order tracking integrated into Uncommon. It's quite a bit more significant than that. So we need to have a reasonable business case to do it. Not only that, but to prioritize that over some of the other features that we're working on, like drafted team breaks and things like that. So
Yep, 100%. So alongside the PSA, Michael Odell asked a good question. We just opened up the PSA side of things as another little, business addition, if you will. Then Michael Odell asked about eBay consignment or just consignment in general.
Yeah, I think once we can, have PSA under our belts successfully and feel like our process is good and everything like that, get the labor dialed in and so that we're efficient, then the plan for the next step is to open up eBay consignment. And so same thing, you'd be able to send directly from a break to consignment or mail in for consignment. And then we have different rates, for fees depending on if you wanted a payout or wanted credit. So naturally you get less fees if you take your consignment as credit. And then we'll have all kinds of rules around that. We're not gonna, we're not listing bulk stuff. There's gonna be value limits and things like that. The truth is I can't pay somebody, $30 an hour to list dollar cards. Obviously that doesn't make any sense. So, but we'll have all of those details put together. So, Bobby said he'd leave Jeremy for us if we have order tracking, and I guess my only thing is I can guarantee you that while we don't have order tracking, we have a much more precise and defined process for submitting orders than some of the other folks locally around here. So that's just my little pitch.
Brad, I've got my Series 2 write-up done. It is Connor Bedard, the best ever. That's the write-up. No, I will end up doing a write-up and getting a few of the secondary type of guys. I mean, there's a couple top guys, obviously, even besides Bedard. But I'll end up doing a write-up of a few guys to give you guys some more info on who we're chasing outside of just the big dog. Because a lot of those teams, to be fair, are going to be super, we're talking about guys super, or Series 2 hockey. There's going to be some young guns in there that are going to have some big upside that are not going to carry the brunt of the cost that the Blackhawks are with Connor Bedard. So I'll get something written up and do some more digging into some of those guys for sure.
What's the next big set release? Jake asks on the Uncommon app. What's the next big set release we're both looking forward to and may personally crack?
That one's easy.
Really? For you?
It's the same for you too, for sure.
The next big one?
Yeah.
I got one before that.
Really?
Yeah.
Trying to think of what it would be now. Has it been teased already?
Because you're thinking Bowman.
For sure.
Yeah.
It's springtime. Spring training's rolling around. I'm ready for 2024 Bowman. I need to chase some Dylan Cruz.
I'm thinking about something else.
Are you thinking about something
Big.
that is bigger and way less produced?
Bigger and way less produced and fancy.
And may or may not have a party attached to it?
May or may not have a ticket to a party as a part of it.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Yes.
That one's a fun one too.
Yes.
You can tell, or is that still
I hope
still
that's
under
enough.
wraps?
I mean, I don't. It hasn't officially been announced.
But there may have been some rumblings of.
Perhaps.
May or may not have been some rumblings of this product.
Perhaps. Yeah. So that's maybe the one that I'm looking forward
All right,
to.
fair enough. I'm gonna stick with Bowman. I'm ready for Bowman's not that far away. I mean, what is it? It's already we're coming up on March here now, right?
Yeah, I mean we're and so like Heritage is coming. So you're gonna have real ones autos of all of these fresh new rookies.
Yep.
So
yeah, I'm excited. Michael Delson, Walker Jenkins autos. I mean, gonna be some nice international guys in there. It's we were just talking about we haven't done much Bowman at all lately for breaks in the group. After draft.
We need to do some. Maybe we need to do some throwback multi-year mixers
Yeah.
that we've done.
Yeah, I think we can build out some cool stuff like some Saturday night spring trainings back Bowman mixers to get more in the swing of things as spring training's back and as we prepare for 2024 Bowman.
Bowman Transcendent is not coming back, but there might be another product coming.
Yeah, they nixed Bowman Transcendent completely.
Yes, that one's gone.
Yep, and
Triple threads. They nixed triple threads this year.
Yeah.
2020, no 2023 triple threads. I'm gonna pull an Emil.
I haven't been hitting big enough cards to do that lately. Yeah, that one's a set. I don't know if has that been officially officially announced.
Yep. Maybe not officially announced, but definitely is official.
Yeah. Yeah, which stinks.
Yeah.
That one's always one of our favorites.
Yeah. Scroll up on the chat a little bit because there was Joseph. Joseph asked if there's any plans to add submissions to the card manufacturers if a fresh pulled card is damaged. No, there is not. And that is not because we don't want to. It's because Fanatics does not want us to. Topps does not want us to. Topps, we've asked over the years many times if we can help in the process of helping people replace missing or damaged cards. And they said, no, we don't want that on dealers. We don't want collectors going to dealers and putting that burden on dealers. That needs to be the collectors coming straight to us. That being said, they have hired an incredible amount of people into their customer service. And right now, their turnaround times for getting back to people are 24 hours. When they used to be maybe you didn't hear back for a week or 2 weeks or whatever, or it felt like it went into a black hole. they're getting back to customer service requests, like in 24 hours. If you go through their online submission process, they even extended their hours. It used to be like 9 to 4, and now it's 8 to 8 for their hours. And they've got multiple shifts covering it. They've invested a lot into that, and so, like, for example, I had a damaged autograph out of 25 that from Pro Debut, and sent it in through the online process as a customer, not as a dealer. So same process you guys go through. Sent it in as a customer through the process, and had a card back in my hands in less than 2 weeks. And they sent an auto out of 25 plus a bonus auto out of 10.
That's kind of crazy. That's pretty crazy.
Those the real sports cards labels
For
the Mag Pros.
The Mag Pros?
Yeah.
They're probably in my cabinet.
In your cabinet? Okay.
Yeah. So the timing and the turnaround time for resolving customer service issues, and I've been seeing it all over social media too. So, like, it's not just my own experience. I'm seeing people all over social media right now saying, "Hey, I put in this claim, and holy crap, look at what I got back." So I'm not saying it's perfect yet, but I'm saying they know that this is an area that they need to really focus on improving, and they're making steps in the right direction. And it wasn't the same player. They didn't have the exact card, but they sent me a comparable player plus a bonus one. So they're never going to be able to always just do same players, because they don't necessarily keep one of everything. Mm-hmm. So, yeah.
What's going on, Zach? Zach just popped in on Facebook. I've seen a couple questions about random team draft or drafted teams.
Drafted teams.
Yep. Drafted teams breaks.
Yep. We took all your feedback on drafted teams breaks from last week.
Yep. So last week was when we did our initial test on the drafted team break.
Yep. And we took all of those things, went back to our software team, and right now we're still working on it. So we couldn't quite get far enough, to do another trial this week, but we'll aim for next week and see if we can keep chipping away at making that experience a little smoother.
Yep.
So.
Yep. We'll have a meeting with Steve again. You guys met Steve a few weeks ago, so we'll be meeting with Steve right after this and get some more answers on that. And yeah, hopefully by next week. I mean, we're itching to get that thing launched, guys. Trust us.
Right.
We are ready to go on the drafted team breaks.
It may be my favorite feature that we've rolled out since we launched Uncommon.
Yeah, I'd agree with that.
I think rewards is up there. Rewards is awesome because like we've been in business for 7 years without being able to do rewards. So I think that's awesome.
Right.
But this drafted teams break, I think, is going to be pretty epic.
Yep, 100%.
Chris mentioned normally I have to turn you guys down volume wise. Today and last week I had to turn my PC volume up 120%.
Yeah, we've had I don't know what's going on with it. Might just be this microphone specifically. I haven't had a chance to dig into it yet. And I didn't want to do it right before we went live, just because then I would have ended up breaking everything, and
we'd have had no audio.
We would have had zero audio. I think it's just on desktop where you're having to turn up the volume more, because I think on phone, from what I've tested, has worked fine. But I'll do some messing around because it's just in this studio for some reason. So we'll figure out. I think it's a wire issue, because I had that thing like disconnect a couple times during my breaks last Saturday. Of course, Titus is gone. He's the main tech guy. He's out vacationing right now.
Yep.
So, but we'll get it figured out.
It's nice taking a vacation, like a month before you're gonna take a couple of weeks off for a baby.
Yeah, what a jerk.
Like, really? You're gonna get 2 weeks off here in April.
Yeah, he's probably gonna take 2 months off. What's the Real Sports Cards paternity leave rules?
It is, trust me, you're going to want to get out of the house, so you should probably work.
Fair enough.
And And it's a fair policy because I will also be applying that same mentality to myself.
To yourself in a
Yes.
a few weeks even.
Yes.
Like a month?
Like-
Straight about a month
Yeah,
exactly.
March 27th, 4 weeks. 4 weeks.
It's crazy. Yeah, we got baby fever over here at Real Sports Cards.
That's right.
At least some of us too. Not all of us.
Baby fever. Huh? Oh, this is new.
Not all of us.
New
for
developments.
for sure.
New development in the Emil world. Baby fever.
No, thank you. Not right now. Someone's gonna have to work. No time for babies over here.
Oh, here, see, Zach's commenting about damaged card return. Zach on Facebook said he had a Jacob Wilson off-centered AF. What's AF mean?
I can't say that word.
Hey, I know you can say that in your breaks, but come on, like this is real sports cards chat here. Off-centered AF out of 75, so that's the black.
Yeah, that's black.
That's a black. So he sent that into Tops, and they sent him back the speckle out of 71.
Pretty good
That
trade.
was perfectly centered.
That's a pretty good trade.
So yeah, they're another example of Tops improving a little bit on their
Right.
process of replacements
Yep.
and missing hits.
Breaks After Dark starts earlier and earlier every day. You can't talk about that when Ryan's in the room. Don't get me in trouble. I don't think he watches those late night
I
streams.
don't watch any. I don't watch any streams. I was in 5-star chat the other day.
Yeah, we were watching. Yeah, I go.
Watching bowling.
Problem is, I don't watch streams because whenever I watch streams, someone's making fun
Somebody
of
is
me.
ripping on you.
Yeah, and I
100%.
pop into a break and I'm getting made fun
That's
of.
why I stay away, because usually people only make fun of me to my face.
Yep.
So they see that I'm in the stream and they talk trash. But for you, it's the opposite. They just talk trash and make fun of you when you're not there.
Yeah, it's true. It's very rude.
So
I don't know what I think.
I
of
feel
some
like
of
it's
these
way more respectful to talk trash to my face, so they like me more.
guys. Yeah, maybe.
I think that's a
Maybe.
given.
A couple people asking about Blue Diamonds.
Yep.
Blue Diamond Rewards.
Blue Diamond Rewards. Same thing. We've kind of been. The timeline hasn't changed from the last couple of weeks when we've chatted about it a little bit, and we're kind of guiding towards April.
Yep. And for those of you that haven't heard any of the earlier discussions about Blue Diamonds, when the process came to create the whole program, we were faced with basically two options, and one of those was to wait to launch it all at once, where, okay, here's Blue Diamond Rewards, you guys can spend them right away, or we were able to do it in two phases, where the first phase was be able to have you guys collect Blue Diamond Rewards from that day on and forever have them, and when
And roll it out sooner.
and roll out sooner, yep, and be able to get you guys those rewards, and then roll out the actual checking out process of the diamonds
Afterwards, yeah.
afterwards. So we wanted to make sure you guys were able to load up and earn rewards on your purchases as soon as possible. So that's the reason for the disconnect there.
Yeah. Otherwise, we'd still be waiting. So you'd still not be even earning until April if
Right.
we were going to wait and roll it out as one, finished package. So
Yep.
this way, I think what we end up with like 6 months worth of earning at least.
Yep.
Before we start doing the exclusive Blue Diamond Rewards drops.
Yep. So everyone will be loaded up and we'll be able to get some cool stuff. We have some cool ideas coming for some of those rewards. So we're excited to launch that too, obviously.
Yep. Comment about Blue Diamond's leaderboard suggestion.
You remember that one, right?
Yeah. Here's where we settled on Blue Diamond's leaderboard suggestion. I love the idea of like leaderboards and achievements and goals and all of these kinds of things. I don't think we're going to do it for Blue Diamonds, mainly because it really clearly and transparently tells everybody how much people are spending. And I think that's something that's private, at least for a lot of people. Maybe there are some people who would love to brag about how many diamonds they've accumulated and how much they've spent, but there are definitely other people who would like to be private about how much money they've spent. So I don't think we're going to do a leaderboard on that. But one of our ideas for future features, and we don't know where this is in the pipeline, this one's a little further out still, is like like achievements and badges and stuff like that we would love to do. Where, for example, let's say that there's an achievement for buying each of the 30 major league teams in a pick your team break. And you can chip away at that over the course of a year or over the course of a month or whatever. And your goal is to, at some point, buy each of the 30 teams in a pick your team break, and you unlock an achievement that has some kind of a reward attached to it.
Yep.
Or, you know, or even maybe more difficult, like get all 30 teams in a random.
Right.
Even more challenging, and maybe that's a bigger reward. Maybe there's one that's buy at least one spot in each break for a shift.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and so there's things that some people already do that, and I think that we can gamify that, make that a little bit fun,
Yep.
and attach some kind of rewards to some of that.
Yep.
You know, close a break 10 times.
Yep. A really tough one, like buy the Reds and get the money mitt hit. That one's gonna be easier this year with Ellie, obviously.
It might be fun. That one might be fun to have a tracker on eventually. Is like a money mitt Hall of Fame.
Yeah, see, that's I think
Like
when we thought about a
money mitt
leaderboard.
tracker. You know,
Right.
a money mitt leaderboard, but that really doesn't solve Ellie De La Boo's Cruz's problems because they wouldn't even be on it.
No, yeah, that's what I'm saying.
So, yeah.
Oh, that's funny. A couple people asked about the like cash value conversion rates or of blue diamonds.
Yeah, think about it. Think about the Blue Diamonds rewards like credit card points. So like credit card rewards. You know, that 1% to 2% value range is right where we expect to settle. Some of that'll be dependent on what we use as redeemable items. Some of those will have margin in. So, you know, there are going to be times where some things have a little bit better conversion rate than others just because we have some margin in it and we can do that. Yeah, so think about it. Think about it as, I think that's probably the easiest way is think about it as credit card rewards type thing.
Yep. And I'd say 3 more things with blue diamonds if you guys haven't heard about it yet. It's 2 blue diamonds for every $1 spent, correct? 2 blue diamond reward points for every $1 spent. Closeout earns you double diamonds. So if you've seen that blue closeout button at the top of a break, if you hit the close and check out, you get double diamonds on all those dollars. So that'd be 4 diamonds for every $1. And then the third thing, if you buy into a break, I had someone ask about this last night in Andrew's shift. If you buy into a break that gets canceled, we want to make sure that you're not buying because it looks like it's a little slower. If you buy into a break that gets canceled, you still keep your diamond rewards points. So that's our thank you for buying in and our apology for sorry we couldn't get this one full. So obviously that's a lesser occurrence, but you do get to keep those blue diamond rewards points, which
Right. Yeah.
you know we feel is a pretty good add-on there.
Yep.
So if you didn't know that, we've had that happen. You know that's been like that since we launched the rewards feature. So.
Yeah. So you see the comments about wife mode. Wife, can we implement? Jake on Uncommon App said, can you implement a wife mode so our account shows all orders at 10% of the cost, and all breaks look 10 times cheaper. So like a white, like kind of like day and night mode.
Yeah, exactly.
Like you can choose on your Facebook app.
Yep.
Like, do I want this in day mode and it's white, like a normal human, or dark night mode like Titus?
Right. Yeah, Titus does Facebook on.
Titus does Facebook on dark.
I do Instagram on dark mode.
Really?
Yeah, I like it way better actually.
I don't even like when my car's infotainment system switches over to night mode.
Facebook I'm used to on regular mode, but Instagram, Twitter, pretty much everything else I do dark mode.
Really?
Yeah.
Man,
I don't think Facebook did dark mode good enough, but that's probably one of many things Facebook doesn't do good enough.
Yeah, so it's like a quick swipe left, and all the values like are 10%.
It's like an incognito mode, basically.
It is. It's like incognito mode. That's actually really hilarious.
To hide costs from significant others.
That's hilarious. That's funny.
All right, what else?
That's the other idea, right? Is we just change our name on the receipt to Children's Hospital donation.
That's terrible.
That's wrong.
That's really bad.
That's really bad. Scott Erickson on Facebook asked, store points and blue diamonds are different and do not correlate with each other. That's correct. They are two completely different programs, mainly because from a software perspective, they have to be. We wrote all of the software for Blue Diamond Rewards for Uncommon, and we use an off-the-shelf rewards integration partner for the point of sale system in the store. So they are different systems. What else do we got?
I'd say the other thing, just in terms of Blue Diamond Rewards and Uncommon, as we keep talking, make sure you guys have the actual app downloaded.
Yes.
So obviously when we launched, it was a little bit different, but we are fully downloadable in the App Store and the Google Play Store.
Right.
So make
so
sure.
We launched with mobile web, and then we showed you guys all the shortcut of how to save the mobile web onto your phone as kind of an app, as a mobile app, but that's really a mobile web bookmark icon. And so we need everybody to delete that and download the app from the App Store, whether Apple Store or Google Play Store, because a lot of the future feature development and those kinds of things are going to be focused on the actual downloaded apps. So we don't want you to miss out on anything. Sometimes mobile web can be a little bit buggy on payments, but like where the PayPal button doesn't even pop up. But on the downloaded app, we aren't having that same issue. And so all of our quality control and everything like that is really focused on downloaded apps. And you can download that app, the Uncommon app, in the App Store. Look for the black square with the blue diamond.
Yep. Mike, I didn't see your question. I'll scroll up unless you're gonna comment it again.
Yeah. So as we're going, guys, we're trying to catch questions as we go. If we miss something and don't think that we're ignoring it, just drop it again. It's not. Don't feel bad about just dropping your question again if it didn't get asked. Because we're trying to keep up as we go, but obviously comments bury some of the questions and we miss them.
Yep. Yeah. So Mike asked, have we thought about any expansion beyond Minnesota and Wisconsin? Store expansion.
We've talked about it plenty.
Yep.
The reality is if we do store expansion currently, it would be within Minnesota and Wisconsin. We don't currently have any goals of going outside of Minnesota or Wisconsin, mainly because it's a bear to manage a store. There's a lot that goes into it, and at the end of the day, you really have to trust the people that work for you. Like that person is running that business. I have no interest in flying back and forth or driving back and forth to oversee stores in other states. Emil is not able to do that because he does too much here. Inventory management is a nightmare in this business. So right now we don't have any plans outside of Minnesota or Wisconsin. If anything, it would be within, and even then, it's pretty low on our list. So,
despite as much as you want to move to Florida to be with Zach,
honestly, the idea of moving my entire business to Florida and not paying Minnesota 13% state income tax, seriously, 13% state income tax to the state of Minnesota. I'd have a little bit more money if I was in Florida.
It's funny. Jake mentioned quality of life improvements. Jake, you're hitting a pretty high point with Ryan right now because Ryan's been a little frustrated with this one lately.
I hate that. Right, Jake mentioned and it's only on desktop, right?
I believe it's only on desktop.
It's only on desktop. It's not on the apps.
It might be on the app too. I'm not sure.
I think we got rid of it on the apps because your keyboard has the emojis.
Right.
But-
Yeah, but I don't know if we did or not.
No, check.
We've talked with Steve about it.
Yes,
Yeah, it
it's
does
gone.
have it.
It's gone.
Oh, it is. Yep.
Yeah,
And you
so
can keep typing.
so the little on desktop, the little emoji icon, like covers up like the end of your chat, and I hate that. Oh man, it drives me nuts because you spell something wrong, and then you don't know how far you need to delete it
Yep.
to get into the right spot. Like, trust me, Jake, it drives me nuts. We got rid of it on the app because your keyboard on your phone has its own emoji icons. Yeah, I don't know what we're gonna do with that emoji icon.
We've had a ticket out for months on it. It's just kind of gotten pushed back
It has. It's just been kind of falling a little bit further
because more
down
important
the-
stuff has popped up. But yeah, it's one of our biggest, like, this needs to change because it's super annoying if nothing else.
Yeah. Yeah. Right. What else we got?
Matt says that's the reason for
Yeah,
all
it
the
is.
spelling
It is
issues.
a reason for all of the spelling issues. Anthony on YouTube said, "Why does the notifications box still pop up every time we bring up he opens the app?" So we are still working on some fixes. We did a software push. We did a software push a few weeks ago.
2 weeks ago, yeah.
2 weeks ago for notifications, and we broke some things. So we're still working out how to fix. We're still working on the fixes for what we broke from a notifications perspective. But when we do get that done, the notifications process for both iPhone and Google Play apps are going to be infinitely better.
Yep.
And you're going to be able to use the customized features to decide what notifications you get and what notifications you don't get and all that kind of fun stuff.
Yep.
We're getting there.
For right now, Anthony, as just a short-term fix, if you go in, I'm assuming you have the notifications off in the settings in your phone. We have notifications off right now from our
The
end.
box that he's getting is the box at the beginning that
Correct.
says, "Do you want to allow notifications?"
And it doesn't let you turn it off. Yep.
Correct.
So we're looking into that. But if you go back into the settings of your phone and turn notifications on, you won't get anything right now because we have them off on our end while we're fixing them and tweaking them, and that will
And
take
then
that box away.
Then you'd get rid of that box.
Yep.
Yep. So turn the notifications on. Don't worry, we turned them off on the back end, and then you should stop getting that box.
Yep, 100%.
Here's one from Farju. Have we had any other stores interested in joining the Uncommon app? Should we address this?
That's up to you on if you wanna announce anything.
Yeah. So
It's in the early processes. Maybe not as early.
yeah. So this is gonna happen a little differently than you guys might think. The truth is when we built Uncommon, the intent was for Uncommon to be a platform that can host many other dealers, and we've pivoted a little bit.
I think even for example,
since
like
then.
Real Sports Cards Wisconsin and Minnesota are set up as
different
different
channels,
stores, different channels.
Two different channels.
Yep.
And so we can onboard other dealers as different channels, all on the same Uncommon app. Not a lot different than what you may have seen on like a Whatnot or a Loop or now a Fanatics Live. We've pivoted a little bit, and without telling the whole story, ultimately, we don't have an interest in trying to become or being perceived as a competitor to Fanatics Live because they hold the keys to our supply chain. Simple fact. So for those reasons, we no longer are planning to onboard other dealers onto our app. The pivot that we're making is we will be making our app available to other breakers to brand as their own app. So you may start to see in the future other breakers rolling out their own app, and it'll look really familiar. So we're going the white label route on software. We'll be providing Uncommon as software as a service and enabling other breakers who maybe are breaking on social media, Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, those kinds of things. We will be offering our software as a service to other breakers who are, who have good businesses. We'll get to be really selective on who those people are. So that's a little bit different of the angle that we are taking with Uncommon.
Mm-hmm.
So that's kind of the short answer. Let's see. Fanatics didn't tell us not to do it, but I think it's safe to say that I don't want to ruffle the feathers of the people that feed us. So, even if I think my app is better than theirs. But say that out loud. I just said it.
Put it on
said
the
it out
record.
loud. It's on the internet.
Put it on the record.
It's on the internet. Ray said, are we affiliated with anywhere that we can go to offer our cards to sell that we win in breaks? No, we do not have any partnerships with any consignment houses, but we did touch on it a little bit earlier. Consignment is something that we plan on offering in the future as soon as we kind of get the PSA thing, running like clockwork.
Scrolling back up here. Jose asked about a vintage break or nostalgia break.
Vintage breaks, we've done some of those in the past.
Yep.
Sometimes they're like tied to an event, like the National. We ripped like 2000 Bowman football. We ripped 2011 Topps Update baseball. We've ripped 03-04 basketball to chase LeBron. If you know, sure, 2000 Bowman is Brady. 2011 Topps Updates Trout. 2003-04 basketball is LeBron. So we've done some of those kinds of things. I don't think it's going to be something that we do a lot of. The challenge with going back and ripping vintage stuff is usually there's one chase. So different, literally one card that you're looking for. Different from modern stuff like Series 1 baseball where there's plenty of rookies and plenty of teams and everybody gets something that they're chasing. When you go back and you rip those, it's like, who's the other big rookie with LeBron's year, the Russian guy? Darko. Yeah.
Well, there's also a dude named
Carmelo
and
there's Carmelo and there's Bosch and there's Wade. So
yeah.
maybe that's a bad
example.
But yeah, you're chasing LeBron and getting Darkos, right?
Yeah. We had that happen in the store.
No, we did. Somebody opened a box. Somebody bought a box. It was SP Authentic.
Yeah, it's 2002 or 2003,
2004 SP Authentic and hit a Darko instead of the LeBron. It was like, it was like what? I mean, it was like a $4,000 box during COVID.
Yeah, I think it was like maybe
2,500,
something like that.
Something. Yeah. Yikes.
Shout out Darko Milicic. It's funny. Weiser asked about Rip Night tomorrow. Tomorrow night.
Yeah, tomorrow night is Topps Hobby Rip Night.
Yep.
Here at actually both stores.
Yeah.
Yep. Both stores have Topps Hobby Rip Night. We're gonna have a bunch of people in here. We got some product for cheap from Topps that we're gonna do some pack wars with, and then just have some fun opening cards. Maybe throw some bounties out there for different things that get hit. We'll see. We'll have a little bit of fun, and yeah. Have a good time.
Yeah, I'm excited. I mean, the store was loaded last time, so
it was packed.
We'll have some giveaway stuff. It'll be fun.
Yep. So come hang out. Come hang out with us.
A couple people asking about Leaf.
Leaf. Yeah.
Leaf products.
So Wisconsin does some Leaf products. We used to do a ton of Leaf.
Yeah, it's probably a good idea to go back from the start.
For those of you guys who have been around for a long time, we used to do 30 cases, 40 cases, which is a lot of Leaf. 30, 40 cases of Flash baseball and metal baseball and all of these kinds of things.
Trinity
baseball. We used to do a ton of it, and the truth is Brian Gray ran that product into the ground. I'll say that on the internet publicly too. Brian Gray ran Leaf product into the toilet, dumpster diving, and during COVID, it was not good. But to Kevin O'Neill's credit, Kevin is the new CEO of Leaf. Kevin's awesome guy, by the way. Maybe the nicest human in the hobby. Kevin, for those of you that don't know his background, came from Topps. He was the hobby sales manager at Topps for a long time. Knows the hobby tremendously well, understands collectors, listens to collectors. I consider him a friend. And we have seen a definitive upturn in the quality of Leaf products.
It's a resurgence.
It is. There has been a resurgence. And so right now, Wisconsin is doing some Leaf, but at a point there during COVID, we completely bailed on Leaf.
We were losing money on
we were
every
losing
single
money,
Leaf
losing
product.
money on every release that Leaf put out. And then the one product that was good, like a Pearl, you wouldn't get any of.
Yep.
It's just like you lose money on metal everything, flash everything, and then Pearl comes out that everybody wants and you don't get any.
Mm-hmm.
And so that's why we bailed on Leaf. The products have been really good.
Yep.
We've been seeing that their products are really good. They're exciting. They're fun. There's value. And so I owe Kevin a phone call. And I think we will definitely be having the conversation with Kevin about what we can do for Leaf products moving forward.
Yep.
Good question.
Yeah. Ray, are you talking about team breaks when there are no teams? Are you talking about collegiate breaks or
Maybe wrestling or
Yeah.
Formula One.
stuff like that?
Things like that where there's no actual teams. We a lot of times we'll do letter breaks
Yep.
by like the first letter of somebody's first name or
Yep.
last name.
That's what we did with WWE Elite
WWE.
that was the past couple days.
Formula One, we did drivers.
We did teams with Formula
Oh,
One.
did we do teams?
We did do pick your teams. Yep.
Okay.
Yep.
That's cool. That's
Yep.
fun. And then sometimes we'll do serial number breaks if it's a higher end product,
Right.
something like that. But yeah.
Yeah, and so Leaf. I mean, we do create our what we've done in the past with Leaf specifically is even their prospect products will set our own checklist because they haven't historically done the checklist. Set our own checklist based on who that player is currently playing for, or what organization he's in, and then we'll post that list, and that will be the checklist that we go off of and sort by. So
Yeah.
all those guys have teams.
Yep.
So that was a little bit easier.
Yep. Jake on Uncommon said, it seems every major breaker these days comes up with their own resealed hit product. You guys ever think about that or staying away? Great question. There's a little backstory on this too.
And a shift.
And a shift. So when we started, repacks were just trash, absolute trash. And we swore that we would never do a repack.
They started off super scummy is the problem.
They were just scummy. They were awful. And I think part of this is there were companies trying to do repacks and they sell them to a bunch of people.
Yep.
And there was no transparency, no integrity, and it was just trash.
Markup on markup on markup for
And-
stuff that was not good.
And so the repack, like the repacker's making a margin, and then the distributor's making a margin on top of that, and then the breaker's making a margin, and at the end, the repack has like 30% of value of cards to what breakers had to sell it for, and it was just a terrible, terrible experience. And over the past few years, you've seen more breakers start to make their own repacks. Now, there's a couple of reasons for this. One is because all of those pre-manufactured repacks were just trash. They were awful. Trying to think of some of them. Fantasy sports breaks.
Yeah.
Barf.
It was just a little relic and everything.
Just awful. And all of those guys, most of those guys are gone. breakers pivoted. A lot of breakers started doing repacks. One, because they felt like they could make a product better than what the companies that were building them were doing, and two, because products like sealed wax got harder and harder and harder and harder and harder to get, right? Like, and then margins got worse and worse and worse and worse and worse on sealed product. We're having to buy like secondary market product at almost full retail to sell in breaks, and it's like, man, we're making like 5%, 10%, like it's gross. And people breakers realize, hey, I can go buy cards on the secondary market for 70%, by not buying them on eBay and things like that. Maybe I pay 100% for some of the chase cards or some of those kinds of things, and so they pay up on some of those kind of things, but overall they're paying 70, maybe 80% on wax, or on singles. They can take those singles that they're into for 70, 80%, build it into a repack, and they probably market that repack at like 120, 130% of value of the cards that go into the product, and they've got a nice 40% margin, which you can't make on wax anymore. It's not possible to make 40% on wax anymore, with the exception of, small panini allocations, at times. And so you've seen some big guys like Backyard Breaks is a perfect example of this. Those guys used to break more wax than anybody during COVID, and now, I don't faithfully watch them, but every time they pop in my TikTok feed or wherever, it's like 80 to 90% repack.
Seems like all repacks, yeah.
It feels like they've like completely bailed on sealed wax for repacks, and that's a margin decision. That's like, we know we can make 40% on this all day long and go all day, and we can just keep buying and selling the same hits, just recycling these things, and there's unlimited access to singles, and so that's kind of that philosophy. We love sealed product. We are okay making a little bit less margin and sticking to sealed product. We've had conversations. Do we need to do our own repack? One thing, I'll never buy a repack from somebody else. I'll never buy a repack, because I'm not going to stack margin on top of margin and devalue the breaks and the value to collectors by having layers of margins on them.
In terms of us breaking someone else's repack, is what
buying
you mean
somebody else's repack and then breaking it.
correct.
I'll never do that. We've talked about, like, do we need to build our own repack? And at the end of the day, we've just kind of at this point decided we're going to stick to selling wax. We think that the supply chain is going to get better for us. Even if margins get a little bit lower, we have access to more product. When Fanatics takes over football and basketball, we're going to have more access to football and basketball product. I saw somebody, can you do more NFL breaks? We would love to do more NFL breaks. Part of it is you guys filling them. And what we're doing is if we have to discount on NFL breaks, and then we ultimately end up, on our few cases that we have gotten direct or whatever that we have good margins on, if we're discounting those cases below what we have to pay to go restock that product on the secondary market, that's the end of that product for us. So, if you guys are waiting on discounts on things, discounts is what signals us to no longer do that product anymore. So take that into consideration if you want to. But if I've got to go rebuy Prism basketball at $900 a box on the secondary market, and I haven't looked at what it is, but whatever it is, but we're discounting Prism basketball breaks below $900 a box, then we're done with Prism basketball.
Yep.
If we're filling it, we'll go get more.
Yep.
pretty simple.
Yep. The other thing with NFL too right now is we see this every single year is we did and for one we've got Impeccable Football coming out tonight, so we'll be doing full case bigger teams of Impeccable. So we will have some football for sure tonight with the new release. But we had a big, and we see this every single year, this big crescendo up until the Super Bowl. And the same thing, you look at the singles market of NFL, like we know the Super Bowl is the top there, and then you kind of see a slow decline and just a slower bleed into the off season. So that's cyclical, and we see that with every single sport. But we'll be doing every single new release, and once we kind of get over the Super Bowl hangover, I'd say a little bit, then we'll be back in. I mean, the reality is we did a ton of Prism football. We've done a ton of every single football product this year, and we'll keep doing that with every single new release and ripping tons of it. So
as much as we have.
Yep, 100%.
Yep. I want to go back to the repack thing. You know,
Yeah.
Austin on Facebook made an observation when we were talking about why breakers have gone to repacks, and Austin's actually Austin says
talking
about
about consignment. Yep.
Okay, yeah. Austin commented about consignment, about, hey, we would make a killing by running consignment, and that a lot of big breakers have gone to consignment. I look at it a little bit differently. I don't look at consignment as an opportunity for us to make a boatload of money. I look at consignment as an opportunity for us to give you guys more liquidity. And that then in turn benefits me. So when we run consignment, what you'll likely see is that if you want a cash out, there's going to be, some margin in it for us. But if you take it as break credit, then we won't make anything on it at all. So, so when we do start consigning a consignment service for you guys where we'll sell your cards for you, whether it's mailed in or from a break, that's kind of what you can expect. Because I make the 20% margin when you use that money to buy into the next break. And so that's how we'll design the consignment product.
Mm-hmm. Kevin, we will be set up at the big Minnesota Card Show this year.
Yeah, Kevin on YouTube asked, are we going to be setting up at the big Minnesota Card Show? We actually have twice the space. So last year,
bigger setup.
we had a 20 by 20 booth, and this year we've got two 20 by 20 booths.
Yep.
And the show is at River Center where the Wild play, and the show is going to be epic. So,
we're excited for that one.
if you travel to shows, come to the Minnesota Card Show in April.
Yep.
It's going to be worth it. Like for example, David Adams sent somebody out to buy singles with like $250K. He spent it all in the first day and went home because he's like, well, I spent all my money. I wish I brought more.
Yeah. He was upset they didn't bring more and didn't stay the whole weekend.
Yep. And he spent $250K buying cards from people, from attendees of the show, not dealers.
Yep.
So there's going to be a lot of money flying around. It's going to be a next level show. What else we got? We got probably a little bit more time for a couple of questions.
And we will be set up. Gabe mentioned the National. We will be set up at the National, and we will be doing some big breaks for the National.
And speaking of big breaks, we're going to do more big breaks.
100%.
We did the New Year's big break,
Mm-hmm.
and that was a blast, absolute fun. Look for us to do more big breaks.
We did the Super Bowl.
We did the Super Bowl break.
Coming up next, I'd say, is going to be opening
Probably
day.
our next one, we'll do a big opening day baseball break that may be somewhat similar to the New Year's Day break. So we can do, we want to do more of those kinds of big fun events where we can do bigger breaks and break products that we don't break as often and things like that. We could do, we were talking about all the big times where we can have a little bit of extra fun, and it's like
Stanley Cup break is for sure.
Opening day, All-Star, draft,
and
championship. And all of the leagues have all four of those elements.
Yep.
And so I think we'll probably start planning some more fun, event style breaks around those things.
Yep, 100%. That's weird. Opening day's coming up quick, man. it's already end of February. Opening day is almost here. We're gonna do some sweet stuff for that.
Yeah. Ray asked a question. It seems like 2023 Series 1 Corbin Carrolls are super cheap because they're not chrome or parallels or things like that. Is that the cycle that 2024 Series 1 is headed for, when right now Series 1 is super hot? Should I expect as a collector that, those cards will be worth less down the road? Absolutely. And here's the real answer here. Series 1, Series 2 update, these flagship products, they're not intended to have base cards that are investments. That's not the purpose. Like, if you look back, collectors can get caught up in hype sometimes, but if you look back, like, that's not why people are buying. People are not buying Series 1 2024 because they're investing into Ellie De La Cruz base cards. But the reality is parallels and short prints and that kind of stuff are actually the primary chase. It's not even the hits. The biggest cards in flagship baseball are not relics and autographs. They are parallels and short prints. So don't get caught up in the oh yeah, LE base cards or whatever. Like go look back at what transacts well, and it is golds and gold foils and blacks and Father's Days and camos and short prints, photo variation short prints. And actually Topps did a better job of having non-hit chases in Series 1 this year than they've ever had.
Yep.
They added the team color parallel, which is going to have long-term value. They added the full image short print, which is going to have long-term value. They made some of the inserts harder to hit, like home field advantage, which is going to help those have value. And heavy lumber is harder to hit. Golden mirror short prints, harder to hit, going to have longer term value. So that's where the value is in Series 1. That's what you should be chasing in Series 1. At the end of the day, Topps, we want Topps to make a lot of Series 1, because what we don't want is like Panini Donruss football and Score football, where the cheapest product is a $250 hobby box. Like, that's not good for the hobby.
Right.
We want a $90 hobby box, and that means they have to make more. And if they're printing more base cards, then those base cards just aren't going to have value. There's too many of them out there. That being said, they printed less than last year. 2024 Series 1, all of the math and the pack odds show that they actually made less Series 1 this year than last year. So still a high volume product, and it's okay that it's a high volume product. So that's my thoughts on that.
Even on a bigger note, you talk about Victor Wembanyama base Prism cards.
Yeah.
Definitely different scale of player with hype, different sport, different product entirely. But we were just having the conversation with a customer in the store yesterday that Wemby Prisms are
out of the gates. They were
75, or they were
125.
Over, yeah. Yep.
Out of the gates, Wemby Prism base cards were 125.
Down to 100.
Down to 100. Now they're like 70.
Yep.
And they're probably going to go to like 30.
Yep.
Right? For a base card. You're not chasing for base cards. That's not where the value is. We saw a break in another breakers group on Facebook. They're not near as good as we are, but I say that in jest because he was watching earlier. But they had a customer in a Prism break buy.
It's $190 spot.
$190 spot in a Spurs break or in a whatever, and hit numbered Wembies.
One numbered Wemby.
And cashed out for $22,000. Like, the base cards are the base cards. Those base cards are going to be $30. That's not what people are chasing. So don't get caught up chasing base cards. If your idea for those cards is future resale value.
Yeah. Definitely a side to be grading and flipping those, especially with Wemby Prism. I don't think I'd be doing that with Ellie De La Cruz Series 1 base.
Yeah,
personally.
to be determined on Bedard OPG paper. The difference with Bedard OPG paper is we don't think there's any more product out there.
Yeah.
So different from how much Prism they make or how much Series 1 they make, we've been trying to buy more OPG. It doesn't exist out there.
None of our
And
biggest
so-
distributors have it at all.
So that one will be an interesting one to see what happens, where historically OPG paper base cards were worth 0.
And there's unlimited product.
But we all used to have cases and cases of it sitting, and we lose money on it because nobody wanted it, and now we like sold out and can't get more. So who knows? Upper Deck could have said our orders, and the truth is we ordered less, and probably everybody ordered less because the big rookies usually aren't in OPG, and so there's a definite possibility that Upper Deck saw the orders come in really low and just made that much product so that they didn't have extra. Because I would imagine every year Upper Deck loses money on all of the OPG that they're left
That they
over.
sit on.
Yeah. So that one will be an interesting one.
To kinda keep
That
an eye
one
on
could defy the odds. So awesome. Ray said, let's do this one last. Ray said, I like these Ray, like I know you at the beginning you said I may sound like a 5th grader asking some of these questions because I'm new to this. Ray, you are not the only person new to this. You're just the only person brave enough to ask in public some of these questions. And so I commend you because I guarantee you there are other people watching this now and that will watch it later that are grateful that you asked some of these questions. So don't be shy about asking these questions. This is going to be the last one that we address for today. Can you speak to how a rookie card can exist now in 2024 and also 2 or 3 years ago for the same person? What's a real rookie card? This is a pretty simple question. Players cannot have rookie cards until they've played a game, but they can have cards before that. And I'll use Topps as an example. Ellie De La Cruz has already had Bowman cards, but those are all considered prospect cards, not rookie cards, because he had not played in the major leagues yet. And he can't have an official rookie card with the RC logo until he's played a Major League Baseball game, with some tiny exceptions periodically, like when they signed Ohtani to an international contract and he got a rookie card technically before he played in a game. That's a really, really minor exception. But generally what you're going to see is they're going to get prospect cards in Bowman. Those are not rookie cards. First Bowman have a lot of value and can often have even more value than a lot of rookie cards, but it's not a rookie card. It's a first Bowman card, and then they get their rookie card once they've played or sometime after they've played. Because the other thing you have to consider is that the production time, like the product development life cycle, is 50 weeks, almost an entire year. That is an entire year if you give them 2 weeks of vacation.
Yep.
Right? An entire year. And so they takes them. That's why you'll see it take them like 6 months later to get somebody's rookie card. Like all these Series 1 rookies actually made their debuts towards the end of last year, right? Or at some point towards the end of last year. And they're just getting their rookie cards now. And that's because there's a 50-week development cycle on these products. And so there's a trailing curve. So that's why you see that. And then Rookie Cup is not always a rookie card. The Rookie Cup is just Topps all rookie team. And so that really is independent from actual rookie status, like rookie all-star. Like they could be a rookie and a Rookie Cup in the same year, or they could be a rookie and a rookie cup in different years.
Most of the
in
time,
different
Rookie
years.
Cup is different because it's the players that played best the previous season. But in the case of guys like
No,
Jordan
they're-
Alvarez and Adley Rutschman that had their rookie and their Rookie Cup at the same year, those guys played enough to achieve Topps' Rookie Cup status. It's just a Topps thing.
Yeah.
But then they get their Rookie card, they're pushed back into that next year. So that's where they'll have the dual Rookie and Rookie Cup.
Right. Yep. And it's a little different for NFL and NBA because they don't really have the same kind of minor league system
Yep.
and prospects. These guys get drafted and they go right to the NBA and have rookie cards. But that's where you'll see some collegiate and like the Bowman University stuff. So you'll see collegiate stuff that are not rookie cards. They are technically prospect
Same thing.
cards
Yep.
or collegiate cards similar to the Bowman, and that you'll see they have their rookie cards once they're drafted and start playing. So the timing is a little bit different. I don't think they don't actually have to play a game yet to get a rookie card
Correct.
in the NFL and the NBA
Yep.
because it's generally more assumed that they go direct from college to the NBA and they're not necessarily going. But we do see in Prism's got a giant rookie checklist.
Yep.
And there are definitely guys on the Prism basketball rookie checklist that are G League
They're still in the
guys
G League.
and haven't made their NBA debut, but they're getting a rookie card. So
Yep.
a little bit different rules
Yep.
for NBA and NFL.
And then XRC is completely different, and we're only seeing that in Leaf does that a lot. I wouldn't necessarily pay too much attention to that in terms of
Well, Select does that.
that's what I'm saying. I know Leaf does it a lot with like their prospect stuff.
Yeah.
But Select Football is the number one product that uses the XRC still. And basically what they do is to get the top 5 draft picks per position in that product, they do an XRC the year before. So CJ Stroud 2023 Select has a 2022 XRC redemption. So it's the entire year before.
And you said that the other way around.
He has a 2023 rookie and a 2022 XRC.
Yeah. Yes, you're right.
Yep, because you're looking
Yeah.
the year before.
Yep. And that the XRC is a really, really desirable card when it comes out.
Yep.
But I would say the rookies tend to pass over the XRCs, don't they?
What do you mean?
When the true rookie comes out.
It's
It
different
depends.
because they're short printed so much.
Yeah, they are really, really short. But if you compare it to like an equally short printed,
Yeah, I would say the rookie is more desirable. Just it's in a different way.
and then soccer, don't even start on soccer. Soccer's all over the place.
That's
You
what
got-
happens when you have two different
You
companies
got
doing
Panini,
two different things.
Panini
and-
licenses and Topps licenses, and they have different rules, and so the players change leagues,
Right.
and so yeah, that's a mess. Rookie cards in soccer are a mess. But that was the last question on that we're gonna address. We did address Blue Diamonds earlier, so Milltown, you can go back if you like and find the Blue Diamonds answer that you're looking for. This will stay pinned to the video carousel so that you guys can rewatch it at any time throughout the week. Appreciate you guys. It's fun doing these as always. We look forward to doing it again, and hopefully we'll chip away and our goal still is let's get the next version of Drafted Teams breakout so we can do some more beta testing and see if we can get that dialed in. I'm itching to do some breaks with that new format. So
We're pumped.
well, we'll see. No promises, but we're still pushing our software team to try and have an update ready for us soon so that we can give that one a shot again. But
Yep.
appreciate you guys as always. Thank you for the business. Thank you for the support. You guys make our world happen. That's never lost on us. And we'll catch up with you in the next Q&A.
Thanks, guys.